Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Rising Parent Podcast. I'm Tim.
And I'm Edna, and you're listening to the show that helps families thrive, one episode at a time.
That's right, Edna.
And today, we're diving into a topic near and dear to our hearts, fostering independence in our kids. It's all about empowering them to succeed.
Exactly. We're calling this episode Fostering Independence, Empowering Kids to Succeed. Because let's face it, seeing our kids confidently navigate the world is one of the biggest joys of parenting.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just about them thriving later on. It's about making life a little easier now, too, right? Less constant hand-holding, more, I got this.
Amen to that. So, we're going to break down what independence really means, how to nurture it, and some practical strategies you can start using today. Ready to get started?
Born ready. Let's do this.
Okay, so first things first, what do we even mean by independence in kids? Because I think sometimes we imagine a miniature adult, perfectly self-sufficient, which, let's be honest, is not reality.
Oh, gosh, no. We're not talking about them moving out at age 5. For me, it's more about a child's ability to handle age-appropriate tasks and responsibilities with minimal help. It's about problem-solving, decision-making, and a healthy dose of self-reliance.
I love that. It's about giving them the tools to figure things out on their own, right? And feeling confident in their ability to do so. I remember a family from our daycare. Their son was so hesitant to try anything new. He was always looking to mom and dad for the answers.
Classic. And that can be tough on parents because you feel like you always have to be on.
Exactly. So the family started small. They let their son choose his own outfit each day, even if it was a wild combination.
Been there. The clashing colors, the mismatched socks, the joys.
Right? And then they gradually gave him more responsibilities, like setting the table or packing his own lunch, with some guidance, of course.
See, that's key, guidance. It's not about throwing them in the deep end, but about scaffolding. You're providing the support they need to build their skills. I always tell parents to think of it like teaching a child to ride a bike. You don't just shove them off.
Nope, you start with training wheels, then you hold the seat, and eventually you let go. And that moment when they're pedaling on their own, pure joy.
Absolutely. And that's the same feeling you get when you see your child successfully navigate a challenge they previously would have run away from.
So why is fostering this independence so important, besides the obvious making our lives easier part?
Well, that's definitely a perk. But beyond that, it builds confidence, resilience, and problem-solving skills. These are skills they'll need throughout their entire lives. Think about it. A child who can figure out how to solve a disagreement with a friend is going to be better equipped to handle conflicts later on in life.
Totally. It's setting them up for success in every area, from school to relationships to eventually their careers. I had a coaching client who was constantly rescuing her daughter from every little setback. Her daughter was in middle school, and the mom was still emailing her teachers to complain about grades and intervening in friendship drama.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Right? And the daughter was becoming increasingly anxious and helpless. She didn't believe she could handle anything on her own.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, doesn't it? The more you do for them, the less they believe they can do for themselves.
Exactly. So we worked with the mom to slowly back off, to let her daughter experience the consequences of her actions, like missing an assignment deadline, and to encourage her to advocate for herself.
That must have been hard for the mom. It's tough to watch your child struggle.
It was. But it was also incredibly empowering for her daughter. She started taking ownership of her schoolwork and her relationships. She learned how to negotiate with her teachers and how to resolve conflicts with her friends. And her confidence soared.
That's a beautiful example of how backing off can actually be the most supportive thing you can do.
Absolutely. So how do we actually do this? What are some practical strategies parents can use to foster independence in their kids?
Okay, I have a few favorites. First, start small and age appropriate. Don't expect a toddler to suddenly be able to do everything themselves.
Right. We're talking about things like letting them dress themselves, even if it means wearing a superhero costume to the grocery store.
The fashion statements you see at the grocery store? Priceless.
Priceless. Or letting them help with simple chores like putting away toys or setting the table.
And remember, it's not about perfection, it's about the process. If they don't fold the towels perfectly, that's okay. Praise the effort, not the outcome.
That's such a good point, Edna. I think a lot of parents get caught up in the need for things to be done right, and they forget that the goal is to teach their kids valuable skills.
Exactly. And speaking of teaching, that's my second tip. Teach them how to do things. Don't just do it for them.
Yes, show them how to tie their shoes, how to make a sandwich, how to load the dishwasher.
Break it down into small, manageable steps. And be patient. It takes time and practice to master new skills.
Patience is key. I remember one time I was working with a family whose son was struggling with getting ready for school in the morning. He was always running late, and his mom was constantly nagging him.
Oh, I remember that family. Morning chaos is a classic parenting struggle.
Right? So we created a visual checklist for the son. It had pictures of each task he needed to complete, like brushing his teeth, getting dressed, and packing his backpack.
That's a great idea. Visual aids can be so helpful for kids, especially younger ones.
It was a game changer. The son could see exactly what he needed to do, and he felt a sense of accomplishment as he checked off each item on the list. He started getting ready on time, and his mom was able to relax a little bit in the mornings.
See, a little bit of planning and structure can go a long way.
Absolutely. And my third tip is to allow them to make mistakes. This is a tough one for a lot of parents.
Oh, yeah. Our instinct is to protect our kids from failure.
But mistakes are how we learn. If we always swoop in to fix things, our kids never get the chance to figure things out for themselves.
It's true. I always say let them skin their knees a little bit. Not literally, of course, but allow them to experience the natural consequences of their actions.
Right. If they forget their homework, let them face the consequences at school. If they spill their juice, let them clean it up.
And when they do make a mistake, don't lecture them. Instead, ask them questions. What happened? What could you do differently next time?
That's so important. It's about helping them learn from their mistakes, not just punishing them for them. And finally, encourage problem solving.
I love that. So important. Don't always give them the answer. Instead, ask them, what do you think you could do?
Empower them to come up with their own solutions. One of our daycare families had a daughter who was constantly asking for help with her homework.
The homework struggle is real.
So real. So instead of just giving her the answers, her parents started asking her questions like, where could you find the information you need? Or what strategies have you tried already?
That's fantastic. It shifts the focus from getting the right answer to developing problem-solving skills.
Exactly. And the daughter started becoming much more confident in her ability to tackle her homework on her own. She learned how to use resources like the library and the internet to find the information she needed.
See, it's about equipping them with the tools they need to succeed.
And it's so rewarding to watch them figure things out for themselves.
It is. Okay, so let's recap the key takeaways because that was a lot of great information.
Sounds good.
First, remember that independence is about age-appropriate tasks and responsibilities. We're not expecting perfection, just progress.
Second, teach them how to do things. Don't just do it for them. Break it down into small steps and be patient.
Third, allow them to make mistakes. Mistakes are learning opportunities.
And finally, encourage problem solving. Ask questions and empower them to come up with their own solutions.
Perfect. And remember, fostering independence is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with your kids and be patient with yourself.
Absolutely. And celebrate their successes, no matter how small. Every little step towards independence is a win.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of this episode.
It does. We hope you found this helpful and that you're feeling inspired to empower your kids to succeed.
Definitely. And now for our call to action.
All right, listeners, if you enjoyed this episode of the Rising Parent Podcast, please subscribe. That way you won't miss a single episode filled with tips and strategies to help your family thrive.
And while you're at it, we would be so grateful if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. It helps other parents find our show.
And check out our website at risingparent.org.
Oh, and one more thing. We absolutely love hearing from you guys. So if there's a specific topic you'd love for us to cover on the podcast, please send us your episode requests. We will make that episode just for you. Seriously, we are all ears.
Yes, we're always looking for new ideas.
So thanks for tuning in to the Rising Parent Podcast.
Until next time, happy parenting.
Bye, everyone.